Now we went for a ride. Hi everybody, hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. Just wanted to come out. Man, has it been a week. Let me tell you, truly has been I don't want to say stressful, but it has been one thing after the other. You know, have you ever had one of those weeks where you think, okay, if one more thing can just go wrong? But you know what? After we had our Bible study last night, that it really helped me a lot. And so those of you that didn't get to come out to the Bible study, we have started a Bible study Tuesday night. Last night was the first night. So it'll be every other Tuesday. So the next one will be not next Tuesday, but the next, which I think is the 26th. But you'll have to check out our Facebook page. Go to Let's Get Real Women's Bible Study. Go to that Facebook page and we'll keep everything posted on there. But last night, great Bible study we had last night, and a lot of it really got my attention. And it was talking about Eve. You know, Eve was the first lady, the first mom, the first wife. You know, she was in a perfect place. I mean, if ever had a perfect marriage or had a perfect life, it was Eve. And God told Adam and Eve there was one tree in the Garden of Eden that they couldn't eat. They couldn't touch. He didn't say touch, but he said eat. But so I got to thinking about that, and she brought up a very valid statement. She said, how many in our lives, that we focus on that one thing we don't have, or that one thing that, is out there. So I was thinking, this week it has been a week, and it has been one delay, one postponement. And I know mine is nothing compared to what people in Texas are still dealing with and what people are dealing with in Florida right now. So I can only imagine. But you know what? We can't focus on that. We can't get distracted, because that's what Satan wants us to do. He wants us to get distracted. He wants us to focus on that thing. So it all just has been kind of tying in, because Sunday, and I told the ladies at the Bible study last night, and I'll let you in on it as well. God really, really, really convicted me on Sunday. And just to kind of give you a little bit of it, I want to read a couple of verses to you first, because I really think we all kind of, I need this. And this was some verses that God gave to me. Psalms 51, 12 through 13. It says, restore unto me the joy of thy salvation, and uphold me with thy free spirit. Then will I teach transgressors thy ways, and sinners shall be converted unto thee. So, Sunday we had church, left church, went to eat lunch as usual, and got in line. And I'm just a kind of person, I try to be considerate of others. I try to be careful of my surroundings. I try to make sure that I'm not encroaching on others. And anyway, I just like considerate. I like considerate people. And one thing that annoys me is when people aren't considerate. But I shouldn't focus on that, you see, because that takes my eyes and my attention away from what God wants us to focus on. But we were out to lunch, and we had a large group going to lunch with us. It was Grandparents' Day, so all the kids were there, and they were taking my parents out for Grandparents' Day, and it was Matt and I's anniversary. So we had just all kind of came into this restaurant at a separate time and going to meet up at a table and all sit down, which is what most people do, because it's like buffet style. So a couple of people in front of us, they had a large group also, but as their group was coming in and checking in, they would wave them to the front of the line. Well, and the more that we stood there, the longer we stood there, and the longer the line grew in front of us, because I'm thinking, well, now wait, the rest of my party's, kind of scattered throughout the back of the line, and I'm not cutting them in front. So I was so upset and so focused on that the whole entire time, and so frustrated. You see, I let my eyes be focused on that and not what God wants us to focus on. And when we got back to church that night, I'm, go into church on Sunday night, sit down, and we had a lady stand up and give her testimony, and she talked kind of about this same exact thing of what happened to her in Walmart, and people cutting in line in front, or, going through that 10 items only line and having 50 items and people not being able to count. So, she's like, and then God convicted her. God convicted her because he told her, you're looking at them as people, but look at them through my eyes. And that's what God convicted me of. One thing that she said was, don't lose focus. We all have responsibilities. We all have jobs, or, you may be a stay-at-home mom, but you have a responsibility. God has placed you here on this earth, and you have responsibilities. And we have to do our day-to-day responsibilities. We have to do it. We have to do it to the best of our ability to give God honor and glory. But at the same time, we don't need to lose focus. And the focus is what God has given all of us to do, which is the Great Commission. He said to go you into all the world and preach the gospel to all nations. And, we as Christians, that is our job. God, he truly convicted my heart to say, you know what, Lisa, you got so focused on, not being the unconsideration that was there for the people that are in line behind you and before you. But you know what? I died on the cross for that person. And not just for that person, but for you and for everybody else. Quit looking at people through your eyes, through the eyes of Lisa, and look at people through the eyes of Christ, which is a soul. I'm not saying that because the person was inconsiderate that they weren't a Christian. I don't know their hearts, but that's the problem. I didn't take the time to know their hearts. I didn't take the time to tell them about Christ. I didn't take the time to hand them a tract. I didn't take the time to even stop and pray and say, God, I don't know this person. I don't know what's going on. But that's the thing. That's where we've got to not lose focus. We need to focus on the will of God. God has He has a will in our life, in everybody's life, that he wants us to follow. But the main will of God for everybody's lives, or we need to be telling other people about Christ. We need to be witnessing to them. It doesn't mean that you don't carry on with your day-to-days responsibilities. You include it in your day-to-day responsibility. You pray for those that you work with. You be a light to those that you work with. So I just hope that you're encouraged today. I mean, it really, truly convicted my heart Sunday at church, and then last night during Bible study, about how we can get so focused on something else, that we can get so focused on the distractions around us, or that one thing we don't have, or that one area of our lives that may not just be right in line at the moment, that we lose the focus, which is the will of God, which honest and truly is to tell other people about Christ and about his death on the cross for us. We just have to, sometimes we just have to, she made a point last night, back up and look up. And, that's kind of how we need to do in life. Back up, look at the situation, give God honor and glory, and tell somebody else about Christ. And I promise you, things won't be perfect, and it won't be all better and all, just raindrops and lemon drops, gumdrops and things of that nature. But it will help you. You will feel better inside. You'll have more joy. Don't let Satan rob you of your joy. I tell you, like I said, it's been a past couple of days that it's been one thing after the other, and I have to back up, look up, and remind myself that, Satan doesn't control my life. He doesn't control what's going on around me. I control that, not myself, but Christ that lives in me controls that. I can control which way I want to look, because it's free will. I can look to Christ, or I can look at the situation that's going on that I can't fix at the moment, but I can look to Christ and ask him to fix it. So just make sure that you back up and look up at your situation. Make sure that you're being that witness that you need to be. Tell somebody else about Christ. a preacher said a couple of Sundays ago, it's such a sad situation when people are dying and going to hell with their sin debt already paid. And you know, that's so true, because John 3:16 tells us that for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. Jesus has already paid the sin debt. It's already been paid, but it's our personal choice to accept that payment. And so, you know, that is sad. And when we stop back and look, when we let people annoy us, and we need to stop back and look at them not through our eyes, but through the eyes of Christ, and see that soul that Jesus died for, and be a light and be a witness. I hope that you all are having a great day, and pray that you are doing well and going through. And wanted to invite you out to our next Bible study. Let's Get Real Women's Bible Study. We are studying the 12 Women of the Bible by Lysa TerKeurst, I believe is how you say her last name. It was absolutely great study. We studied Eve last night. The next session that we'll do, we'll be studying Rebecca. Make sure you go to and look at our Facebook page, Let's Get Real Women's Bible Study. The next session will be, I believe it is September the 26th. That's a Tuesday at 6 o'clock at New Life Baptist Church, 2620 Old Grade Road in Dalton, Georgia. We are trying to do a Zoom meeting for those that aren't local and want to watch it online. So trying to figure out a little more ways that we can do that will allow more people to get on. So just stay tuned with us. But I really pray that you all have a great day. And, you know, tell somebody about Christ today. Tell them that their sins are forgiven. Their guilt is gone. That's the biggest thing most people deal with today. Even us as Christians, we deal with guilt. But you know what? We need to just let those bags sit and walk away from them. So have a great day. God bless you.